Alright, we have to talk about the jobs report that just came out, but before we actually continue to do so, I do want to put out a simple notice for people who have been watching my videos for so far. I understand that I have been uploading 2 videos every single week, and I'm sure that a lot of you actually have been watching as well. I'm actually very happy that is the case. However, I do want to improve my videos, and I realize there's a lot of room for improvement, a lot of rooms for editing, and a lot of rooms for better research and more information-packed videos for you guys. So I intend to actually lower down the frequency of my uploads in order for me to give you guys better videos in the upcoming year. So starting from 2024, I intend to actually lower down my uploading schedule. I'm not sure is it going to be 1 video a week or 1 video every other week. I will be updating you guys in one of the videos from here until 2024. I'm not sure just yet. But anyway, that's all I do want to talk to you guys about this part. But anyway, let's get back to the jobs report. So, for people who are unaware, for jobs report, we were expecting 160,000 jobs added in the last month. And somehow, the Wall Street expected, let's say on the bull case or the bear case, depending on which part of the aisle are you actually at. People expected, what a hot market would look like? 280,000 jobs added. I think that's gonna be a very, very hot market. Whoa! It came out to be 336,000 jobs added. Okay, think about it this way: it is about 20% more than what people thought the hot market was going to be. Okay, the base expectation was about 160,000, 150,000 jobs added. They went 2 times, plus a little more. So, of course, this just brings forth a whole different conversation that we have to talk about in the whole entire market. Okay, so of course, we are going to be splitting this into 2 different things that we have to talk about. Okay, the first one is, of course, is this really a good thing or a bad thing? Okay, people who are calling it a recession, aka me, thinking that this is a recession or we are walking towards a recession, okay? What recession? Because clearly the hiring is not stopping. There's no such concern that we have since hiring is booming. Okay, the economy seems to be doing dandy. Okay, inflation is going down, but it's still persisting. All these different things shows that recession is not here. Okay, but of course there's also another different camp where people are talking about what the Feds are gonna do. So let's talk about the Feds now. Okay, so I think this is a huge case for the Feds to actually look into, because now we have to dig into Jerome Powell's mind. Okay, the chairman of the Federal Reserve. We have to dig into his mind and think, okay, J. Powell, do you actually think that we are going to be getting such a hot non-farm payroll? Because if you are expecting that, then the previous FOMC meeting means that, you probably already expected this. This is part of your projected rate hike in 2023. However, if Jerome Powell, sir, if you did not expect this sudden jump in payroll, then does that mean that whatever that you projected before was not included, and now we are actually having a new rate hike that should actually be included in the next SEP, aka for 2024 it's going to be higher for longer? That's going to be the bingo card for the whole year next year. So of course that means that what if this rate hike was not planned, and finally Jerome Powell might actually have to come out to address this whole situation and just be like, we wasn't really expecting a 336,000 jobs increase, and I think that we definitely can do a little bit more work on the rates hike. So, if we were to do so, then maybe you guys can, get lower inflation if we were to keep higher for longer. So, of course, maybe if Jerome Powell were to go towards that direction, and then, you kind of see interest rates just go all the way up. And you do have to take into consideration that for interest rate to continue to go up in this manner, okay, what people are worried about is because in 2024, we are not even expecting the cut rate. We're not expecting the cut rate. Okay, that means that whatever Fed rate we're going to be getting in 2023, if it's the last rate hike, that's going to be the rates that we're going to be staying for at least a year. And if you're going to be staying at that rate for a year, what's that going to say? Okay, it doesn't really matter if it's just like, let's just say we are currently at like what, 5.75% or 5.5%. No, we are at 6% already, my bad. Yeah, let's just say we are already at 6%, okay? But you increasing it by, let's say, a 25 basis point, which is a 0.25%, just increasing that by a 0.25%, you have to understand that we are going to be bringing this 0.25% for the whole entire year, or until whenever we're going to cut. Could even be longer than 1 year. If this actually get drawn out, 2 years maybe, we don't know. Okay, historically it takes about 14 months before we actually start cutting after the last rate hike. Historically, that's the average. Okay, so the concern that a lot of people is actually having is that if that were to be the case, then of course inflation should go down. Should. But what if inflation doesn't actually go down this way? Because the issue now is the issue now is that the Federal Reserve actually expects us to have a long-term 2% goal. We expect inflation to be 2% for the long run. We are expecting that to be the case onwards and onwards. However, right now, core inflation is not exactly going down to below 2%. Neither is normal inflation. So core inflation is up. Normal inflation is up. We're starting to find somewhat of a support line for inflation at about 3%, 2.9 all the way to 3.5% or so. So if we are expecting somewhere in the 3% range for inflation, what does that actually mean for, you know, the normal people like you and I? Because we are the one that's getting destroyed by the economy. Okay, because the difference between a 2% inflation and a 3.5% inflation is almost night and day. Okay, you don't need to talk about a 9% inflation because that sells on the paper. By 3.5% for a very, very long time is going to kill a lot of people. Okay, so of course you're talking about 3.5%. Let's talk about 3.5% then. The additional 1.5% inflation that we're going to be getting, chances are it's going to be eating out at you because it compounds at whatever that you pay for. Okay, because every single CPI, every single PPI, every single PCE, whatever inflation reports that you're going to be reading, well, have been reading and will be reading for next year, have always been showing us to have this form of a persisting inflation, and it's not going away just yet. Okay, of course, 9% inflation year over year, that sells in mainstream media because there's going to be breaking news, we are hitting 9% inflation, breaking news, we're at 7% inflation. But 3.5%, you're not going to say breaking news, we're at 3.5% inflation, because just in 2021 we already saw the worst of the worst. In 2022 we saw the worst of the worst. It doesn't really matter to us. 3.5% sounds like peanuts. But if we are going to be comparing 3.5% inflation versus 2% inflation, you're talking about every single item that you purchase and consume compounding every single day, every single week, every single month, every single year. That means your food prices goes up, your energy price go up, petrol, fuel, even your energy like electricity costs, lights, fans, aircon, whatever it is that you actually use. And those are part of your non-core inflation. Talk about your core inflation, your apparel, okay, freaking like tech stuff. All these different things are all going to be going up in price as well at 3.5% year over year. And we're expecting them to even go up even higher for longer. And if this whole entire rate hike cycle thing, higher for longer, if you're going to be getting this whole interest rates being up for this high, if this doesn't go away, and well, let's just say we keep this rates pause for say 15 months and inflation doesn't actually inflect downwards close to the 2% mark, that simply means that the Federal Reserve can just simply say, economy is doing fine. Economy is handling this like a champ. We can handle it. We can totally do 6%. Who said we can't do 6%? We are totally fine. Inflation might be at 3.5%. So what? we can try to bring it down to 2.5, okay? But like, let's just leave it at 6%. What's the issue? Nobody's getting destroyed until a recession happened, of course. And of course, this is where this kind of get a little bit divided, because some people think that, oh, okay, do you want to consider a recession happened, that already happened back in 2022 when we actually had a technical recession? Or do you want to talk about a possible recession that we might actually be getting in the very, very near future? Which is why all the different bears in different camps are saying that, oh, you know what, maybe I just want to park in cash, maybe I want to park in gold, maybe I want to park in silver, okay? A lot of people are fearful for the market. Even BlackRock themselves is being fearful as well. Larry Fink came out to say, yeah, this is the highest level of fear that we have seen in the market. So of course, a lot of people are fearful of the market at the moment, because right now everything just seems too good to be true. And of course, how all life lessons actually go, if it's too good to be true, it probably is. Because we're going through one of the biggest cycle of recessionary fear trends, and you're getting employment reports showing you that you get 336,000 increment in payroll. It's just crazy, abnormal to say the least, but crazy. And of course, people can actually say, yeah, maybe people are just taking up 2 jobs because people can't afford, with this high inflation that's coming into the market. Lower income families are actually, exhausted, suffering from this huge inflation and such. That is possible. I've actually made the argument on multiple occasions saying that, getting a higher non-farm payroll doesn't mean there's more jobs. It simply means that it's literally means more jobs, not that less. It doesn't mean less unemployment, if that makes sense. Okay, just having higher payroll, meaning that there is more people paying wages, you're paying more wages into different accounts, does not equate to lesser unemployment people, meaning lesser homeless people, people with lesser mental illnesses who cannot work, people without proper stability, proper infrastructure to actually work, things of that nature, okay? You're not talking about lowering unemployment, you're just talking about increasing in jobs. And jobs has been increasing at the fastest rate since I think it was like 2007. Okay, if we're increasing our jobs rate at this speed at the moment, then it simply means that probably a lot of people are starting to take up second jobs, third jobs. And if that were to be the case, is that really considered as a booming economy? If someone is taking up 3 jobs, do you really consider them as thriving in this macro economy? I don't think so. Okay, it means that this person, chances are someone probably in America right now is probably working from 6 a.m. all the way to 2 p.m. for the first job. And then maybe afterwards from 3 p.m. working all the way to 10 p.m. and afterwards doing like DoorDash or doing Uber by the side. And that's all possible. We cannot really rule those different scenarios out. And that's why I think we're not exactly in a booming economy, as much as all these different trends and information that's in the market shows you that, yeah, it looks like we're booming. And at the same time, the Federal Reserve is like just trying to turn to a blind eye and just say, yeah, we're booming, we can handle this, okay? The economy can handle this. I'm just going to close my eye and just raise the interest rates because we can handle it. And I don't know if that's going to be true. And I think that's kind of the whole situation that we are actually looking at right now. I think it's quite interesting for me to actually go through something like this. But yeah, that's all I have for this video. But I do want to put it at the end of the video again, which is starting from 2024, I'm going to be lowering my upload frequency in order for me to add more quality in terms of edits into my video, in terms of more information, a lot more research, and of course better stories to actually talk about, because I'm not going to be talking about something always interesting twice a week, because the market is not always going to be interesting for us to talk about. And because I do have a day job as well, I cannot be just sitting here and just editing every single day. So I'm trying to actually increase my quality of my videos, because I do think that it's possible for me to increase drastically, and I do want to try to do so as well for you guys. But anyway, that's all I have for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Peace out. Bye.